Welcome to Great Travel Documentary, where every city has a secret, and we're here to tell it. Los Angeles, where dreams meet. Tents? Oh, Hollywood, land of sparkling lights, red carpets, and secrets juicier than a tabloid headline. Behind the Botoxed facade of Tinseltown, there's a plot twist no one's rushing to spill. What's the tea Los Angeles is keeping under wraps? Let's just say Skid Row isn't exactly auditioning for Best Place to Live. Describing life here is like trying to explain why your Airbnb has no Wi-Fi, grim, chaotic, and a total vibe killer. In this city, you're not just chasing dreams, you're dodging pickpockets and praying your shoes don't get swiped while you sleep. Los Angeles, the so-called City of Angels, once strutted as the golden child of the American dream. Now, it's drowning in a tsunami of despair, starring in the United States blockbuster Homelessness crisis, coming soon to a sidewalk near you. Stroll down Sunset Boulevard, and you might brush shoulders with a celebrity flaunting their $10,000 handbag. But look closer, and you're more likely to spot a veteran, a single mom, or a grandparent huddled under a tattered blanket, shivering like they're in a low-budget horror flick. La La Land? More like Lost Land. This isn't the promised paradise anymore. It's a tragic theater where tens of thousands are cast into the shadows, homeless, hopeless, and with nowhere to cue their comeback. In today's video, we're diving headfirst into LA's homeless hellscape, where secrets darker than a noir film push everyday folks to the edge. Don't worry, this isn't some doom and gloom TED Talk. It's a no-filter look at reality, here to help us get a grip and maybe, just maybe, do something about it. Keeping the faith means staring the ugly truth in the face, sunglasses off, people. If you're ready to peel back the curtain on the not-so-glamorous side of America's flashiest city, buckle up and let's roll. The California Dream, from golden hues to tent city blues. Once upon a time, there were dreams so dazzling that just whispering California made folks see stars brighter than a Hollywood premiere. For generations, the California Dream wasn't just a catchy hashtag, it was a rock-solid faith. And if that dream had a beating heart, it was Los Angeles, the city where Hollywood Boulevard's golden glow welcomed starry-eyed immigrants, where a regular Joe could snag a cozy bungalow, raise a couple of kids, and sip lemonade in a rocking chair someday. Sounds like a rom-com script, right? But hold the popcorn. Behind LA's airbrushed facade, that paradise is crumbling faster than a bad facelift, giving way to a nightmare that's pitching tents on every corner. Los Angeles was once the poster child for dreams do come true. Now, it's a city where makeshift tents pop up like dandelions on steroids, crowding sidewalks while tourists snap selfies. At the base of glitzy skyscrapers, people wrap themselves in ratty blankets, sprawled on concrete in a city that once dangled opportunity like a carrot on a stick. The California Dream's light still flickers, but let's be real, it's running on fumes, barely bright enough to light up a dive bar. From Hollywood's Walk of Fame to Venice Beach's breezy boardwalk, tents stretch like props in a dystopian blockbuster. If this doesn't make your jaw drop, I'm not sure what will. No Hollywood directors dared to greenlight this version of LA, a city painted in post-apocalyptic shades, where tattered tents huddle under palm trees and folks trudge through days like they're stuck in a never-ending bad dream. This homelessness crisis isn't just a subplot in a few sketchy neighborhoods anymore. It's a tidal wave, washing away Tinseltown's shiny veneer and the hopes of those who bet their lives on the American dream. Never in modern U.S. history have we seen such a gut punch to that dream. Over 75,312 people, yep, you heard that right, are without a proper place to call home. That's not just a number, it's a neon sign screaming system failure. And these aren't faceless extras. They're people like you and me who once had jobs, families, lives now reduced to crashing in rusty cars parked outside Apple's sleek HQ, curling up under soggy underpasses, or shivering outside Walmart to dodge the wind. The scariest part? This is LA's new normal, folks. The city that once sold dreams by the bucket load now holds up a cracked mirror, showing a society that's letting its most vulnerable slip toward the edge. Locals are rattled, some clutch their pearls in sympathy, others lock their doors as homeless folks drift through neighborhoods like ghosts. Sure, a few cause a ruckus, littering or stirring up trouble, making parents think twice about letting kids walk to school or venture out after dark. But let's get one thing straight. Homeless doesn't mean criminal. These are veterans who fought for the flag, workers who built this city, parents who raised the next generation. They had a place, a purpose, until a cold, pricey world shoved them aside like yesterday's news, as if their very existence is a stain to be scrubbed out. We could point fingers at sky-high rents, economic flops, healthcare disasters, pandemics, or boneheaded policies, take your pick. But here's the tea. When a city as civilized as LA lets the folks who made it great free fall into oblivion, it's not just one thing breaking. It's the whole dang system, creaking under the weight of its own promises. If Los Angeles, the poster boy for fresh starts, big breaks, and the American dream, is drowning in this mess, where's the hope for anywhere else? Are we headed for a day when all we've got left is a faded Polaroid of a dream we used to believe in? So what's your take on this LA plot twist? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's ditch the tired cliche that homelessness is just for the lazy or the dropouts. The streets of Los Angeles are serving up a reality check hotter than a Venice Beach taco stand. Homelessness isn't some personal sob story anymore. It's an equal opportunity crisis snatching up folks with master's degrees, doctorates, and even those who thought a booming stock market meant they'd made it. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Even with jobs aplenty and Wall Street popping champagne, regular working families are one paycheck away from pitching a tent. We grew up hearing that hard work was the golden ticket to stability. Punch the clock, pay your taxes, and voila, you're living the dream. But modern America's got a new script. A steady gig doesn't guarantee a roof and a house. That's a luxury item now, like a Birkin bag for the lucky few. Responsible workers, folks who've paid their dues and kept their noses clean, can still spiral into freefall after a layoff, a hospital bill, or a budget cut that feels like a bad plot twist. Take Professor Daniel Marl, an astronomy lecturer at UCLA, one of those ivory tower schools everyone drools over. The guy was pulling in $70,000 a year. Sounds like a comfy life, right? Wrong. In LA, where rent costs more than a spaceship, that salary couldn't keep him in his apartment. When the bills piled up, he crashed at a friend's place far from campus, teaching Zoom classes despite a job that screamed for face-to-face. He begged for a raise. UCLA said, nope. And just like that, he was clawing at the walls of a dead end, trapped like a crab in a bucket with no Wi-Fi and no way out. Daniel's story isn't a one-off. It's the grim B-side of LA's glittering record, and it's spreading nationwide. Professors, tech nerds, nurses, artists, you name it, they're all sliding down the same slippery slope with no safety net in sight. It's not because they're slacking. It's a system where rent outruns paychecks and help is scarcer than parking on Hollywood Boulevard. The real gut punch isn't the stats, it's the dread. If brainy, skilled folks can't keep a roof over their heads, what's left for the rest of us? When a PhD can't buy you a home, is the American dream just a dusty postcard we're all clinging to? Daniel's still got a couch to crash on, so he's lucky, but the line between sofa surfing and sleeping in a park is thinner than a Hollywood starlet's waistline. If even he, or the thousands of other overqualified folks, can't hack it, who's safe? Where's the hope for that starry-eyed American dream? Stick around, because it gets bleaker. Picture this. Elderly folks, the ones who built LA's shine, now shivering next to skyscrapers like they're extras in a dystopian flick. It's a cruel joke. Those who carried the American dream on their backs are now ghosted by it, too old to chase the spotlight. They grew up believing that kindness, grit, and a piggy bank would earn them a cozy retirement. Nobody warned them that playing by the rules might still leave you homeless. Over 36,450 elderly Angelenos are out there, proof that society's memory is shorter than a TikTok clip. That number isn't just a crisis, it's a middle finger to the folks who held this country up through thick and thin. These seniors aren't chasing penthouses or red carpet invites. All they want is a warm bed, a hot meal, and a shelter that won't get bulldozed at midnight. But LA's too busy drooling over real estate deals and tech hubs to notice. The city doesn't kick them out outright. No, it's sneakier, just letting them fade into the background like a forgotten script. A society doesn't tank when the economy dips, it crumbles when it forgets its elders, losing its soul faster than a reality show loses viewers. Can a nation call itself great when its builders are left with nowhere to crash? And if you think that's rough, brace yourself for the kids. We say children are the future, but wander LA's streets at dawn, and you'll see that future stuffed in beat-up cars, munching stale bread, dressed in hand-me-downs older than their dreams. These kids should be playing tag, acing spelling bees, or doodling their big plans. Instead, they're learning how to survive. In some schools, 1 in 10 students is homeless, no desks, no naps, no square meals. How's a kid supposed to learn when dinner's a crusty roll and breakfast is a warm Coke, when home's a minivan behind a gas station, and the only bathroom's a McDonald's sink? They're not kids anymore, they're tiny survivalists. Stripping away their childhood rips off their chance to dream, and that's the real horror show. Some call them the next zombie generation, drifting through life with no hope, no spark, no future. They grow up thinking they're a burden, and without a miracle, that weight will crush them forever. We're raising a generation that's never known plenty, that doesn't trust society to have their back. Worse, they're learning early that grit, goodness, and big ideas won't save you in this mess, while they believe in when all they've known is loss. If these kids are America's tomorrow, what are we handing over but a big, empty void where trust used to be? This isn't just LA's story, it's a wake-up call for all of us. What do you make of this broken dream? Hit the comments with your thoughts. When Mozart becomes a bouncer and wildfires crash the party, ever get chills from Beethoven or Mozart floating through a bustling train station? For most of us, it's a sweet escape, a little classical hug in the chaos of daily life. But for those scraping by in LA's underbelly, with nowhere to call home, those elegant notes aren't a warm blanket, they're a polite, get lost sign. In subway stations, these melodies aren't for vibing, they're a sneaky eviction tool, dressed up in violin strings. Once the soundtrack of grandeur and art, Bach and Beethoven are now bouncers, shooing away anyone who doesn't fit the city's glossy Instagram aesthetic. As long as those symphonies loop like a bad Spotify playlist, the homeless are nudged to vanish quietly. Welcome to an era where exclusion gets a glow up, public benches too bumpy to nap on, drinking fountains gone AWOL, seats sliced up with metal bars, and now music, classy on the surface, but really just a sugar-coated, you're not welcome memo. It's grimly ironic that train stations and porches, once the last safe havens, now blast high culture to shove the vulnerable into shadows we can ignore without a twinge of guilt. Is this about keeping things tidy, or are we just airbrushing the struggling out of sight? When music, once a beacon of humanity and intellect, turns into a velvet rope to gatekeep existence, what kind of society are we curating? Are we bopping along to these tunes, sleepwalking into a moral mess we're too comfy to call out? Now, shift scenes to Hollywood, where mansions hide behind gates and parties sparkle with fleeting dreams. Everyone thinks it's a bubble immune to reality until Mother Nature RSVP'd with a wildfire. Earlier this year, flames tore down Southern California's dry hills, torching the Hollywood fantasy in a fiery plot twist. Fire doesn't check your bank balance or Instagram clout. It just leaves ash. Thousands, including red carpet royalty, lost homes, heirlooms, and memories in a single night. My house, my entire neighborhood, it's gone. Decades of our lives, poof, an aging actor muttered, standing in rubble where family dinners and framed photos used to be. His words aren't just a personal tragedy, they're a megaphone blasting a truth we've dodged. Homelessness isn't just for losers. It's a curveball that can strike anyone, from A-listers to accountants, in the time it takes a spark to ignite. These wildfires didn't just burn houses, they laid bare the American dream's flimsy foundation. That dream, sold as a sturdy trifecta of wealth, safety, and stability, can crumble faster than a bad movie sequel. When even celebrities, the poster kids for success, can't save their homes, who's got a guaranteed ticket to security? Sure, not every star ends up on the streets, but that moment, standing in ashes, wondering where to crash, mirrors the daily grind of LA's 75,000-plus homeless. The gap between penthouse and pavement is suddenly just a gust of bad luck. What hits hardest isn't that fame can't buy immunity, it's that nobody's safe. If the top dogs can't shield their homes from flames or fate, is there any dream strong enough to cling to? Or are we all just one wildfire, one rent hike, one upsie away from losing what we thought was ours forever? Zoom out, and LA, once the shiny hub of California's billion-dollar dazzle, perfect weather, and influencer vibes, is morphing into a cracked mirror of America's inner fractures. Forget financial charts or city maps. The real breaks show in the stunned eyes of those who lost it all, in the exhaustion of triple-shift workers still short on rent, in the hollow chill of a city that never dims. Here, wealth and want are neighbors, split by a single sidewalk. One side flaunts infinity pools, the other scrambles for a shared water tap. Los Angeles is the brutal blueprint of America's class divide. This isn't just LA's drama, it's a sneak peek at the nation's next act. Homelessness, a shrinking middle class, forgotten elders, kids robbed of chances, workers priced out, it's not a local flop. It's a script being drafted in Detroit, Philly, Chicago, New York. Any city chasing shiny skyscrapers while ignoring the people grinding behind the scenes is on track for LA's sequel. There's no VIP pass to safety anymore. A surprise bill, a health scare, a fire, or a landlord's whim can tip anyone over the edge. If LA, with all its cash and tech, can't keep its promises, what's the plan for the rest? When the American dream's core is crumbling, do you still think it's got your name on it? Or is it just a VIP perk for the lucky few? Los Angeles, once the glittering emblem of ambition, now exposes the nation's fault lines, not just sketchy streets or tent camps, but a system buckling under its own weight, where even the steady and schooled get shoved to the sidelines. This isn't LA's solo act. It's a warning of America's future if we keep ignoring the vulnerable, letting society's backbone slip away. Who's next in line for this fallout? You tell me. What's your take on LA's hidden cracks? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video to get the word out, and smash that subscribe button to stay locked in for more unfiltered stories. Thanks for watching. Let's keep this convo going and see you in the next one. This video digs into real data and true stories to spark discussion, not drama. We're not here to push politics or twist facts, just to shine a light and open the floor.